me, Ravi. How do people breathe in these things? I don't know. But what I do know is fundraising is important for any club. If you want to support UVMtv, go to the South Burlington Chipotle from 6 p.m. to close and tell them that UVMtv sent you. Half of the sales from that time period will be used to help fund our club and fun shows, such as this. Maybe not this, but this, definitely. This definitely. Welcome back to Fucking Up Food, the not cooking show. I'm your host, Frederick, and today, for our Halloween special, we're making Hush Puppies. And I know what you're saying, Hush Puppies aren't scary, or Halloween themed, like, at all. And I know this is gonna sound weird, but it's related to Halloween. So this show I really like on Netflix called Izombie, which has a really strange premise when you say it out loud, but it's a really good show.
My name is Liv. I used to be passionate, inspired, alive. Now I'm mostly just hungry. And a zombie, so there's that. As day jobs go, this one was pretty grim. Until I got a taste of something more.
Why the hot sauce? Is that a zombie thing?
It's finally here.
I've been terrified about somebody finding out about me for months, and you're acting like it's the measles. When I eat a brain, I get visions. Flashes of dreams or memories.
Dr. Death, what's the story with my Jane Doe? No idea yet?
She was arrested in 2008.
How'd you know that?
Liv. It's a psychic.
Ish.
So yeah, it's about the story of a girl named Olivia Moore who gets turned into a zombie and has to leave behind her beautiful husband and her beautiful fiance and her job as a cardiologist to work in the morgue so she can get the brains to survive being a zombie. The only problem is that these brains give her visions, and she uses these visions to hunt down the killers of the people who've been murdered. One of the ways that Olivia Moore spices up her undead life is that she takes the brains of her victims and she takes the brains of these people and turns them into interesting culinary dishes. And since I don't want the NSA looking at my search history, no one should, I figured instead of brains, we'll be using shrimp hush puppies. Also, in addition to the show, is a new camera angle. Just this way you can see what I'm actually doing, and it'll make things a little bit easier to pay attention to. Hush puppies are pretty simple, as far as I can tell. You've got cornmeal, you've got flour, cooking oil, salt. The recipe called for cayenne pepper and smoked paprika. But I don't have smoked paprika, so we're gonna go with chili flakes. Grated cheese. It called for grated cheese. We're going with freshly grated Parmesan just because I don't want a repeat of last week's episode where I tried to grate things. Buttermilk to help hold everything together. Onions, chives, eggs, and the shrimp itself. We're also going to be making fries to go along with the hush puppies themselves, just because it'll make things a little bit less weird. So as far as I can tell, hush puppies themselves are pretty simple. You just need to mix all the dry ingredients together to make some kind of paste, combine the shrimp in, and just batter them in oil. I only have a third of a cup just because I didn't do the dishes yet, because I'm a responsible adult. And we got a plate for our ingredients, because we figured that that'd be easier.
Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your soul, seal your doom tonight. Spooky, scary skeletons speak with such a screech. You'll shake and shudder in surprise when you hear these zombies shriek.
All right, so now we have all our dry ingredients together. It's the cornmeal, the flour, cayenne, cheese, crushed pepper flakes. I'm gonna mix this all together, and then we'll add the chives, and then we'll just kind of add everything together until we have to actually deep fry everything.
You only want to socialize, but I don't think we should. A spooky, scary skeleton shouts startling, shrilly screams. They'll sneak under sarcophagus and just won't leave you be.
So the recipe says a quarter cup of chives chopped, and I don't really know how much that is. This looks like enough. I might chop a little bit more, but it seems like it's enough. So I guess we'll just work with it and see. Next step, I'm gonna actually preheat the oven because I forgot to do that before. When it comes to ovens, usually 350 is a good mark for many amounts of things. If you want to go for something like bigger, like pumpkin seeds or squash or something like that, go to 400, but I honestly don't know if there's any particular use for that, but we're just gonna roll with it. In the meantime, I'm gonna cut this onion, I'm gonna cut the potatoes, and then I'm gonna add all the dried ingredients together into the bowl, then I'm gonna add the wet ingredients, and then we'll just have the batter for the hush puppies. God, okay, this is actually making me cry, holy shit. We found the onion. Apparently I'm not dead inside. All right, myth busted. Oh God, this hurts. All right. Ooh. So the rest, oh my God, this sucks. Holy shit. So the recipe calls for grated onion, but I'm going to chop them up into little pieces just because I have little to no good experience with the grater. So we're going to work with that instead. My favorite horror movie of all time is the 1997 John Carpenter's The Thing. It is about an Antarctic research base that discovers a woolly mammoth hidden in the ice. A spaceship hidden in the ice. And there's an alien hidden in an ice block. The team brings the ice block back into the base itself, and while they're celebrating the discovery of the century, the ice block thaws. And so they discover that there was something still living inside the ice block, a thing. And this thing can take the form of any human or any living creature it wants. And so it slowly picks off everybody at the base and goes on a killing spree. There was a really good quote from Stephen King that I remember a lot, which was that in a horror or a mystery novel, you should never answer the question of why or how. You shouldn't answer any of the basic questions because those questions are what stay with the readers. Oh my God, this sucks. It's those questions that stay with the reader the longest. And also, the mind is the best weapon when it comes to horror because you could design the scariest monster in the world, but it's not the scariest thing you can think of when it comes to what's in the dark. And your mind knows what scares you because it's your mind. All right, so we're back. The onions have been chopped and I mixed them in. Now I'm just going to quickly cut the potatoes into fries, and then I'm going to put them out on a aluminum foil tray, and I'm going to butter the tray, I'm going to oil the potatoes, and I'm going to oil the fries, and then we'll just have potato fries in a minute. When it comes to aluminum and like other kind of parchment paper, saran wrap, that kind of stuff, aluminum foil doesn't melt in the oven unless you're going at like 600 degrees. Why are you baking something at 600 degrees? So just be careful with that kind of stuff, but you can put it in the oven and it should be fine. So if you use it as a protective layer, you'll be doubly fine. Potatoes are cut up into kind of sizable fries. They're going to get a little smaller in the oven, so just kind of make them as big as you want. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take some olive oil, and I'm going to liberally oil the pan, and our oven's done. This is perfect. This feels very weird, me just oiling my hands. There's definitely a more efficient system for doing this, but I'm not going to do it because we're already recording and also because this is fucking up food. And there are no mistakes, just happy little accidents. All right, we're back. Sorry about all the cuts. Cooking takes time. So we've got our potatoes on the tray here. They're very nice. And we're just going to toss them in the oven for about, I'd say 20 minutes until golden brown. In the meantime, I'm going to take our dry ingredients that we were using before, and I'm going to combine the wet ingredients, which is just one beaten egg. I feel like I should have more than one egg for this, but I'm not going to question it. And buttermilk. Interesting fact, I think you can just combine lemon juice and milk to make buttermilk, but I didn't want to mess around with this, so I'm just going to combine it all together. Now hopefully that should make our batter, and we can use that to fry up our shrimp. It's kind of like pancake batter, and it smells like movie theater popcorn. Like, you know that cheesy sauce you have it smells like the cheesy sauce?
Oh, it totally does.
Yeah, I think that's probably just because of the Parmesan cheese. Like I said before, the premise of the show is stupid on paper, but the acting and
I think it sounds awesome.
the acting and the acting by both Olivia Moore, who's the actress name I can't remember, but the actress who plays Olivia Moore and the actor who plays Dr. Ravi Chakrabarti, who's the chief medical examiner at the Seattle Police Department, and who Olivia works with very closely, both kill their roles, and they're both very good at it. The other supporting characters are great as well, but those two are especially really good at it. We're back. So we've got our shrimps peeled and tailed, thanks to Nina. And we've got our actual paste. It looks pretty good. I can understand why they went with diced onions, just because it'd be hard for the paste. But what I'm going to do is I'm gonna wash this plate off. I'm going to make the actual hush puppies themselves by wrapping them in them, and then I'm going to fry them in there. I actually didn't bring enough oil, so it's kind of low, but we'll live and learn. Okay, so a little bit of technical difficulties. Turns out wet shrimp does not equal good hush puppies. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just going to dry the hush puppies, the shrimp themselves, in the hopes that they will actually congeal to the hush puppies themselves. Otherwise, we're going to end up with very, very sad hush puppies.
Spirit supernatural, wish I would solve the buzz. The bags of bones seem so unsafe, it's semi-serious. Spooky, scary skeletons are silly all the same. They'll smile and stab us slowly by and drive you so insane.
See, now my hands are just all gross, and like the cornmeal and the flour have just congealed together, and now it's like impossible for me to make these into a ball. I just now realized I probably should be wearing gloves for this, because that's why. We've got our hush puppies. They're super big. I fucked up with the flour, I fucked up by not wearing gloves, and I fucked up because this should have taken a lot. I thought this was gonna be simple, but we are now an hour and a half into this recording session, and I only have like 8 hush puppies, and I still have a bunch of shrimp left. So, we're just gonna toss these into the oil and see what happens. Professionalism! I'm gonna try and go for the smallest one first, and then we will just go for it. The first batch actually looks really good. They're pretty burnt, I'd say, but they're actually that's what we're looking for, considering how thick they are. So we're gonna drop the next batch in. This is gonna destroy my insides. Like, this is basically just carbs and oil personified. These actually look quite good. These are basically just like burnt on the outside. Like, yeah, I'll hold up the camera. They're just like super burnt on the outside, but they actually look quite good. They smell good. They smell like oil and onions and everything that's good about deep frying food. I'm gonna let these cook for a little bit less than the other ones, like just until they're golden brown enough. The idea for this was just to have them submerged in oil, but unfortunately, because I'm a broke college student, I don't have enough oil to submerge them into. So we're just gonna work with what we got. They are definitely less burnt than the last ones, but it'll be up to us, for me, to determine whether or not these are actually any good. So we're gonna let those cool. I'm gonna do a quick hard cut, and then we'll come back to the actual taste test. All right, we're back. After many technical difficulties and several burnt hands later, the potato fries actually their potato fries aren't anywhere close to done, as I'd like them to be fries, but they still look pretty good. And as I mentioned before, these are super burnt, but they actually look kind of good. So, cheers.
Cheers.
The shrimp's cooked! Yeah! Fuck yeah! Unfortunately, I don't have like a flask, like an Erlenmeyer flask to put this in to make it show accurate, but I do have these tiny little cups, which are cute. Overall, this is really good. It's basically just a scallion pancake with shrimp inside. Grated the onions. Definitely think these are way too big, but they're cooked through, so it's good enough for me. It's cooked on the outside, but like kind of soft on the inside, which I like a lot. They're not like actual fries, they're just kind of like limpy potatoes. But they're still good. As I thought before, it's hard to fuck up frying food, but I somehow managed it because these are massive.
Fair enough.
I actually kind of like the burnt ones a bit better.
They have more taste to it.
Potatoes are the cornerstone of every food. Don't call someone a couch potato, it's rude. Potatoes are good. How would you rate this out of 10?
Originally, I said, when we were guesstimating what it was going to be, I said solid 6.5, but you've changed my mind.
Really?
I would say solid 9.
Nice. Awesome.
They're pretty good.
9 out of 10 for taste, 7 out of 10 for presentation, and for execution. Any final comments?
The burnt ones are better.
I would like to thank you all very much for watching. Per usual, if you have any suggestions for dishes you want to see me fuck up, put it down in the comment section below. Or if you just want to berate me for fucking up one of your foods, feel free to. I'm always open to suggestions. Until next time, be excellent, and happy Halloween. Also, I know this is coming out on November 2nd, but the schedule dictates that I release every Friday at 3, so don't at me.